Okay, so this might be the best action camera for running that's on the market. Seriously, in love, obsessed. It doesn't cover it. Did I need a new camera? No. Did I want a new camera? Yes. And I'd seen all the reviews of the new Insta360 X5, and so it was pretty hard to resist. Let's check it out. Okay, so let's unbox this bad boy. I should probably also say that I paid for this camera with my own money, and that Insta360 have not paid me or anybody else, who else would there be, in relation to this video. Okay, so inside the box itself, there's actually not very much. So there's the camera and a little packet with accessories on the side. So included, we've got the protective carry pouch, the charging cable, and a handful of screen wipes. So the slightly annoying thing is that the camera comes without any accessories at all. So without actually buying some accessories off Insta360, off their website itself, you can't really do anything with it. It does have a standard camera type port at the bottom, a camera screw, which is compatible with the other Insta360 products. So the one I previously had was the X2 model. So I've gone from an X2 to an X5. But it's not going to be compatible with any of your GoPro attachments. It's not going to be compatible with anything else. And as a camera on its own, you really can't do anything without the accessories itself. So you can either order off the Insta360 website, you're a bit stuck. Luckily, I've already got the invisible stick, and I've also got the giant drone stick, which I got when I got my X2. So I'll be getting some more accessories off the Insta360 website, and we'll try some of those out as well. Okay, so previously, up until this point, I have two cameras that I mostly use for running. I've got the GoPro 12, and that's got a max lens attachment on it. And it's just got a shorty tripod stick that I also use. Then I've got the X2 Insta360 camera, which when I normally use it, I will have it attached with just the standard invisible stick if I'm just going out for a regular run, or if I've decided that I'm going to take it on a race. And then this is the new X5. So one really obvious thing straight away is that the X5 is significantly heavier than the X2. So if I was to pop them on the scale, the X2 is at 150 grams. The X5 sits in at 200 grams. So it feels significantly heavier, but then when I put the GoPro on, the GoPro is actually really heavy, and it's quite an awkward thing to put as in the setup that I've got it at the moment. It's actually really awkward putting it in my running pack. So as a setup at the moment, that's 247 grams. So if we put the X5 with the stick, we're looking at 303 grams. But I actually think that as a unit, it will be easier to just pop it in and out of my pack than the GoPro with all. It's usually this screw that gets stuck on my Solomon running pack, or the lid, the cap for the X2. So we'll see how we go once we put it into the pack. So first up on my testing journey was a 10K trail run down on the Surf Coast on the same course that I'm going to be doing the Surf Coast Trail Marathon and Surf Coast Century later this year. So double whammy, got some on-course training and a chance to test out the new kit. I was able to slide the camera straight into one of the front pockets on my pack and just hook in the end of the stick just so that it didn't move around at all. Straight away you can see how dramatically clearer and crisper the image is compared to the old X2 that I had. And the stability is fantastic. You can see in the shadow there just how tall I've got the stick. It's not extended the full way. But I also wasn't trying super hard to hold it still either. I was just holding it in my hand and running as normal. And because the camera is on the end of a stick, you can experiment with lots of different cool shots. I can hear people already asking what the point of this drone stick is. Well, in Victoria where I live, it's actually illegal to fly a drone in a national park or state park without a commercial permit. So if you want to get a cool overhead shot, this is really your only option. You just might look a little bit silly while you're doing it. One of the features I was most excited to test out was the low light situation. The GoPro is terrible when it comes to lighting, and as soon as it gets just a little bit dark, the image turns to crap. So I was really keen to see how this went. So I jumped in the car and drove down to the foreshore right at sunset to test out the camera. As recommended by Insta360, once it started getting quite dark, I did change the settings to make it clearer for the night mode, but it came up fantastic. There's a little bit of lens flare there that is coming from the lights. Not much you can really do about that. But it's still a really clean, smooth, crisp image. And I'm running here, I'm not walking. See? A super cool feature for runners is that the Insta360 app will sync to your Garmin Connect or your Coros app and will attach all your metrics, your speed, your pace, your heart rate, etc. onto your video if you choose. And the shot options are endless depending on how you put the stick. You can see in the shadows in each of these stills where I've put the stick, whether it's straight up, out to the side, or even out to the front or the back to give you a different perspective of the trail. But without a doubt, one of the coolest things about this camera is the app that comes with it. Whether it's tutorials or Shot Lab or just AI editing, it's so easy to use, and you can just upload some very basic clips and it'll make something really, really cool for you. And if you're not quite sure what to do or how to get a certain effect, it gives you heaps of information as to what exactly you need to do with your camera in order to get that effect.
Down, so let's run it up. Down, so let's run it up.
It's a heavy duty one, that's kind of cool actually.
I got some accessories online so that I can now use the camera with all the GoPro accessories that I've previously purchased. And since it's not as durable as the GoPro, I also got some screen protectors. Okay, so I've been playing with the Insta360 X5 for about 3 days and already I'm completely obsessed with it and I'm taking it everywhere. I can't wait to receive the new stick with the tripod attached that folds to make it a lot smaller to fit in my pack. I'm really keen to try that out when it arrives, and I'll be posting more videos and more examples of the different content that you can get once that arrives. I think that there is a few pros and cons, as people on the internet have already said. I can't be one of those people who compares it to the previous model because I never had the X4, but just the interchangeable lenses, the low light capacity, the fact that it replaces 3 pieces of equipment for me is an absolute game changer. Literally replacing 3 pieces of equipment with 1 camera. For me, one of the big things is the interchangeable lens. When I first got the X2, I broke the lens within, I reckon, maybe 2 or 3 days. So the fact that you can change the lenses now is massive. It's a little bit less durable than the GoPro, so I've already jumped on Amazon and got some screen protectors for it. And yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm really excited to try this out and yeah, see how we go.